In this video, we'll discuss self-love, what it is, and how to grow it. Self-love, also known as self-compassion, is mostly giving yourself grace, allowing yourself to go through a growing process and learning from your past mistakes. It's forgiving yourself for those mistakes and realizing that you needed to go through them to learn a lesson. Self-love can look like many things, but one thing that it isn't is that it is not selfish. Allowing yourself some time to recover and recuperate is not a selfish thing to do, because if you're constantly pouring from your cup to fill others, eventually your cup is going to empty and you won't be able to serve the others that you care about anymore. So it's very important that you take the time to practice self-care and love yourself so that you can refill and you can be better suited to serve others in the way that you want to. There are many ways to promote self-love within yourself. One of those ways is to be mindful of your thinking process. Like we talked about last week, negative self-talk can cause anxiety and depression and worsen those symptoms within sufferers. However, if you reverse that thinking and think positive self-talk, then you will be able to promote self-love within yourself and be more mindful of how you talk to yourself and treat yourself. So if you love yourself, then you're more likely to treat yourself like you are your own best friend instead of being your own worst enemy. Another way that you can promote self-love is to take care of yourself. So you can do self-care regimens such as I like taking baths every once in a while. It's really relaxing and soothing. I also like writing in my journal. That's how I take care of myself. I get all of those thoughts out of my head and onto paper. Any way that you promote self-care is a good way to promote self-love within yourself, because if you take care of yourself in a very physical way, eat healthy, exercise, stay active, then it'll promote self-esteem. And if you promote your self-esteem, then you will naturally have self-love. Another way that you can promote self-love is to set clear boundaries. And that's especially with the people around you. So I found that it's very difficult for me to say no to certain people, especially when I know that they're counting on me to do certain things. But as of right now, it has been 6 years since I've spoken to my father, and he used to be someone that I would always say yes to no matter what he needed. But I learned that he was a toxic person in my life and I needed to cut him out. It was not a very easy thing to do. It was actually one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my entire life. But cutting him out has actually increased my quality of living, my self-esteem, and my self-love for myself. Another thing that you can do to promote self-love within yourself is to forgive yourself. We went through this extensively in the forgiveness video and the forgiveness blog post. But it's very important that you forgive yourself for your past mistakes. Forgive yourself for what you did not know when it happened. It's not possible to know everything at all times. So it is important that you forgive yourself for what you didn't know and for the actions that you took that you feel are mistakes now. Just remember that those can be lessons that you have learned that you will apply to your life in the future to be a better person and to have a better life. Forgiving yourself is the most compassionate thing that you can do for yourself. So it is the most important thing that you can do to promote self-love. Now remember that you can contact me on my Facebook page or on the contact page on thebutterfliesproject.com. And always remember that you are not alone and I appreciate you. See you next week.